Now, another point to make in the list of cons is that while yes, homes often are a great investment, they have been historically. They're something that go up in value. It's traditionally thought of as homes go up always. But that's not always the case. Homes can go down in value depending on your location and the type of home you own. You could see your home's value start going backwards. I mean, even on our radar here with some of these looks into the market, and on season one, there were a couple where the values went down year over year. I mean, you add on to the fact as well that in the national market for real estate, we've kind of been in a very interesting spot these past few years with home value increasing by 54% over the past 4 years. While I do not see home value necessarily decreasing over the next 5 years anywhere near that increase, I don't see the value of homes increasing by another 50%. Home value increases are going to start slowing down. They're going to start to flatten out. And speaking about homes in my area here in King County, home values I feel will likely increase closer to the traditional 3 to 4% each year. Now, the real reason that I believe home price values are going to start to slow down is just because of how expensive they've become and how it is really impossible for a whole lot of people to actually afford a home here in America. A home used to be something that was in reach for a majority of the population. However, now over the really just the last 4 or 5 years, that dream has become harder and harder to reach to where a lot of people, especially in my age bracket in their 20s and even in their low 30s right now, they don't see owning a home as feasible. High prices have become such a hot topic that I feel people are attempting and trying to figure out ways to combat this, and people will figure out solutions, which then will lead to the home value slowly starting to not increase as much as they have recently. The market will return to a point where a larger amount of buyers can afford a home. Now, that's of course just my prediction, and that's for my area here in King County. As King County and Seattle here is an area that is always going to draw in a crowd. People love Seattle, and that's important because cities that have less pull in terms of a city that is less desirable, I feel they could actually see their real estate value and real estate market lose value over the next couple of years. What we are dealing with today are the effects of the COVID era, where loans were made extremely cheap. Everyone could afford to buy a home. So what did people do? People jacked up their home prices and they would sell. They would sell for way above even that huge list price. And values then adjusted to how people were willing to pay this amount of money. And values for homes have increased and they haven't returned back to normal since. But now with that kind of COVID era, extreme low interest rates over, interest rate spikes likely over, with Fed likely simply lowering interest rates for the next few months, I feel that the traditional non-desirable areas, and those areas are perhaps areas with geographical struggles or issues, such as natural disaster likelihoods, I believe those areas will be the ones that begin to lose value over the next few years, with people simply understanding and realizing the last 3 years were a mistake in terms of home values.